Greetings everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Unclear and we have the patch notes before we go into the Edge of Fate. So these are long, these are juicy. Just sit back, relax and enjoy listening so you don't have to read them yourself. Anyway, let's jump into the patch notes for Destiny Update 9.0.0.1. New feature, the portal. General. The portal is now the main access point for new activity content and is available directly from orbit. Kepler destination, portal activity ops, event card, seasonal hub, tower access, quick launch activity, carousel, information carousel. The portal contains links to the main portal activity nodes, Solo, Fireteam, Pinnacle and Crucible ops. Customization. Allows players to choose modifiers and improve rewards. There are 4 primary selections to customize: difficulty, activity, activity preview, and reward forecast. Difficulty tiers. There are 5 selectable difficulty tiers at the moment: normal, which is power 10, advanced, which is power 100, expert, which is power 200, master, which is power 300, and grandmaster, which is power 400. Activity modifier categories. Challenges. Unique to sandbox based challenges. Up to 5 per activity can be selected. Banes. Random enemies have a unique effect that makes them more powerful. There are 7 new Bane types. Boons. There are now boons in the game. Beneficial player boosts, for example, searches. Player stakes. Non-sandbox based modifiers, for example, no HUD, no starting ammo. There are also a new set of static modifiers. The rule modifiers, these include information about how to score points, enemy tier and faction composition, enemy toughness, and Bane frequency. Activity preview selection. Visible on the right side of activity menu during customization. Wow. Shows relevant activity details, activity power, power level, difficulty shield, easy, challenging, or impossible. So that's how easy that thing's going to be for you to do. The reward forecast selection. Visible on the right side of the activity menu during customization. That's weird. So the bottom right tells you what you're going to get. Rewards are based on the reward score. Final reward score is based on 2 parameters. The challenge multiplier. This is calculated by, this is fireteam based, shared by everyone on the fireteam. You increase this by increasing the difficulty tier and selecting challenges, banes, and player stakes. Now the reward multiplier, this is player based. You have full control of your reward multiplier. You can increase this by increasing your power level, wearing new or featured gear, and by obtaining scoring bonuses. The challenge reward and multiplier determines reward score forecast. Rewards that should be expected upon completion activity. You'll see an engram on the rewards display that lists the gear tier, loot pool, and power, and it can be expected to see exactly what it contains. Reward score translate into rewards based on 2 parameters. The reward rank, which is you earn different rewards ranks as you level up, starts as copper and caps at diamond 5. Reward package. Each portal activity play will earn a grade, C all the way up to A, based on the score you achieve. Eventually, the A+ grade will be achievable as you reach higher reward ranks. The reward package you get as a reward, you earn gear tier and power of engrams and currencies alongside the gear rewards. Reward ranks determine the score you need to achieve to get a specific reward package. Oh, jeez. Okay. The activity type. There are 3 activity types as far as scoring points go: final blow scoring, objective scoring, and wave-based scoring. For final blow scoring, strikes, hunts, battlegrounds, kills award a small amount of points. Objective scoring, solo ops and exotic missions. Completing objectives grants points. There are bonuses that players can find. Wave-based scoring, featured in Onslaught. Points are earned upon a wave completion. Players must earn enough points to reach a tick mark on the in-game score bar to get the forecasted reward package. Each activity has 10,000 and sometimes more points available to earn before multipliers are applied once the activity is finished. Bonus timer. Activities now have bonus countdown timer. Rewards up to a 15% bonus to your score depending on how much time is left. Mid-activity rewards. Mid-activity rewards can be earned in some activities. Longer activities, such as exotic missions, the Coil, and Onslaught, have reward chests spaced out at regular intervals. These chests aren't scored like the end activity rewards, but have quality determined by the seasonal power and Guardian progress. Challenging enemies often drop rewards, like currencies and sometimes engrams. Quality of the reward is determined by seasonal power and your Guardian rank. All mid-activity rewards come from the loot pool for that activity. Scoring experience. New score bar. This shows a tick mark at the location where you are guaranteed to earn the projected reward package and turns from white to gold when you do. There's a new kill feed. Shows a total of recent scoring near the reticle. Only shows name or class for challenging opponents. Ghost menu now shows your current power. Reward score and reward package are shown upon activity completion. Reward package rewards come from unique chests at the end of all PvE portal activities. This includes new engram visuals that upgrade as the earn gear tier increases. Post-game Carnage report has been updated to show the following: score, time bonus, challenge multiplier, reward multiplier, and reward score. Fireteam power. Fireteam power is enabled for all activities in the portal. Reward quality is determined by the personal reward rank, so each player may earn different rewards. When Fireteam power is active, each player's reward multiplier brings their personal reward score down to that player's natural power level at the end of the activity. This is similar how we score matchmade and other fixed power content. Portal training and tutorial. Several training tiers are available at Solo Ops and Fireteam Ops. They serve as a highlight and tutorial of portal features. Training tiers have a slightly different selectable modifier availability. Whoa, this is juicy. Curated quick play playlist. Solo Ops and Fireteam Ops have 4 quick play playlists. They don't allow customization, but have a selection of challenges, banes, and boons. They have 4 difficulties and you're always at a power disadvantage. Normal, fixed power, advanced 10 under, expert 20 under, master 30 under. They have their own scoring system. The challenge multiplier is based purely off the base activity power for the playlist. Instead of using the scoring adjustments for the modifiers, we add to the reward multiplier based on the power disadvantage. The final reward score will be the same as if you had recreated the activity with the appropriate power disadvantage in the customized screen. Starting in week 2, expert and master matchmaking tiers are available on Fireteam Ops activities with a bonus focus. Similar randomized modifiers, scheme, and scoring adjustments to the quick play playlist. Grandmaster difficulty unlocks in week 4. Guardian rank refresh. Guardian ranks have been rebuilt to support the portal and the new core game experience. All existing players will be reset 1 time to Guardian rank 2. In future seasons starting in Destiny 2 Renegades, Guardians will be reset to rank 6 as they were previously. Any previously earned rewards for attaining Guardian ranks are kept. Most of the feature unlocks that previously lived between Guardian rank 3 and 7 have been moved to be earned by getting Guardian rank 2 or 3. The final set of loads are still on Guardian rank 7. Many Guardian rank objectives have been retired and replaced with new ones to help guide players learning to use the portal, as well as using it to track and reflect their seasonal journeys. No objective in Guardian ranks requires any purchase to complete. Alright, Crucible Ops, scoring. All Crucible Ops activities in the portal are scored activities. Crucible Ops share the same reward rank system as the rest of portal activities. Your power determines your reward rank, which determines the score thresholds for performance grade reward package. Reward score is determined by match score and Crucible reward multiplier. PvP does not have a challenge multiplier, it's fixed to 1 times. Match score, determined by a match outcome and player's performance. A fixed amount is awarded for wins, losses, ties. A variable amount is based on player's score, the scoreboard stat, and team rank, whether you're first, second, or third on your team. Bonus score is awarded for achieving mode-specific super, like most kills, most zone captures, longest kill streak. These are lobby-wide. Round-based modes award similar amount of bonus score per round. Joining in progress and team balances are accounted for and factored into match score for disadvantaged players. So if you play the zone in control, you're more likely to get a bonus score rather than just trying to brag out. I like that. Crucible Reward Multiplier increases with power, equipping newer featured gear and reward pass bonuses. Exclusive to PvP, this also increases with Crucible Reward rank, the competitive division, and your Trials passage. Crucible Reward rank. Previously Crucible rank. Your current rank determines your reward rank multiplier, which factors into your final Crucible Reward multiplier. Progression is based on individual performance. The higher your player score, the scoreboard stat, the more points you gain, the faster you rank up. Higher ranks require a minimum performance grade to gain any points. Fabled requires a C+, Mythic and Legend require a B. So the higher you level up in Crucible, the better you have to perform to keep leveling up. So if you just start stagnating out, I guess. Each major rank grants you an additional weapon and or armor and currency. Gear tier and power up these rewards are equivalent to the highest potential reward package at your current reward rank. Rank resets are not currently available. Wow, okay. Well, not even partway through this. Additional rewards. Crucible Ops. Crucible Ops activities may grant additional MVP rewards on top of the guaranteed scored reward. Gear tier and power of these rewards are determined by you by reward package and equivalent scored rewards. In 6v6 modes, the top scorer, the person who came top of each team, earns an additional piece of gear as an MVP reward. A random player between rank 2 and 5 is also rewarded an additional piece of gear. In 3v3 modes, a random player on each team is awarded an additional piece of gear. In free-for-all modes, the top scorer earns an additional piece of gear, and a random player between 2 and 5 also is awarded an additional piece of gear. Trials of Osiris does not grant any additional or MVP rewards. It will come later with a mid-season update. New feature, Seasonal Hub. A new home to challenges and rewards to help your Guardian power up during the season. Challenges Hub. Daily and weekly challenges. The weekly reward track. The Play Now Hub features conquests. The Seasonal Title Hub is a set of triumphs that reward the seasonal title. Challenges Hub. This features 2 types of challenges and a weekly reward track. So daily challenges. 3 challenges that target portal activities. This resets each day. Identical each day to provide a consistent, predictable base of progress or Seasonal Hub progress. They award 1 rank on the weekly reward track, as well as some Bright Dust and XP. For weekly challenges, 5 challenges that also target portal activity, but ask a bit more focus and effort to complete than dailies. This resets each week. 3 weeklies are identical each week and correspond to daily challenges. 2 weekly challenges change each week, so be sure to check the requirements before diving into activities. Awards 4 ranks on the weekly reward track, as well as some Bright Dust and XP. The weekly reward track has a set of rewards to support power progression. Resets weekly and is account scoped. Rewards include currencies such as exotic ciphers, unstable cores, strange coins, and Bright Dusts. They include powerful engrams by the legendary tiered gear drop. Armor requisitions allows to claim 1 armor reward from Zavala during the current week. And Arsenal credit. Allows you to claim 1 Arsenal reward from Zavala during the next week. Alright, conquests. This added 6 conquest activities in the Seasonal Hub designed to offer unique challenges and powerful rewards on your seasonal journey. This is replacing the Conqueror title. 2 conquests at expert difficulty, each offering a one-time reward of a tier 3 engram. 2 conquests at master difficulty, each offering a one-time reward of a tier 4 engram. 2 conquests at grand master difficulty, each offering a one-time reward of a tier 5 engram. Updated the Conquest seal to remove Nightfall triumphs and new Conquest triumphs for earning the title in Gilding. Alrighty, Armor and Arsenal rewards. Commander Zavala now offers a selection of powerful new gear items each week. This requires 2 new currencies, Armor Requisitions and Arsenal Credit. The Armory includes a selection of new gear, armor choices each week. This is, up to 2 such armor rewards can be earned each week. Armor choices are present for each slot across both PvE and PvP pools. Each armory reward selection must be different. The same armory reward cannot be claimed twice each week. Armory rewards have a predefined tier, which increases as the season progresses. The Arsenal feature is a different new gear seasonal weapon each week, with up to 5 options to choose from. 1 weapon can be claimed using credit earned in the previous week. Arsenal rewards have a predefined tier which increases with seasonal progress. The option to choose from start at 3 with a credit earned from the previous week. Each Arsenal expansion earned the previous week options to choose from increase up to a maximum of 5. So you won't be able to pick a weapon until the week after. For each credit or expansion unearned the previous week, there's an option to unlock it in the current week available for Bright Dust. To acquire a credit, which provides 1 reward from 3 options, it costs 1500 Bright Dust. To acquire an expansion, which provides 1 additional option, it costs 250 Bright Dust. Expansion 1 can only be purchased if the credit is unlocked. Expansion 2 can only be purchased if the credit and expansion 1 are unlocked. For season reclamation, the Arsenal rewards will begin on week 2, based on the credits and expansions earned in week 1. So that's a bit confusing. What that means is you get a reward track and you have to earn the token to be able to buy the Arsenal reward next week. So whatever you earn this week is just a currency to be spent in the week after. And if you don't earn it, you can go back and earn it. And if you want to unlock more options, you have to unlock it or spend Bright Dust. It's quite crazy. Alright, activities. New campaign and destination. The Edge of Fate campaign launches in a few hours. Welcome to Kepler. There's going to be story missions, quests, general and exotic quests, destination weapons, armor, and destinations, weapons and armor, destination activities, and secrets. We'll be doing videos on those and going through them. There'll be no stream of the campaign, but I'll be streaming later once the campaign's finished. Crucible, Trials of Osiris. Trials has new loot, new armor, new weapons, refresh weapons. Power advantages have been disabled. It must be at least £200 to enter Trials. Trials Passage of Osiris. Wins up to 7 increases Trials multiplier. Upon reaching 7 wins, you can claim reward on the passage itself. Lighthouse Passage. Wins up to 7 increased Trials multiplier. Active win streak continues after 7 wins. Lighthouse chest rewards have been rebalanced, but the general structure remains the same. For example, your longest win streak leading up to 7 wins still determines your Lighthouse chest rewards. Special weapons on rotation will not be available until the mid-season update. Okay. The Trials isn't changing much, it's just changing. There's no power disabled. There's no power enabled anymore. You must be 200 to enter. So, which is fine. You should be close to 200 after the campaign anyway. Competitive. There's new competitive rewards, new competitive weapon. The season reclamation ascend emblem. This emblem will be added in a later patch. Players who reach ascendant rank within competitive Crucible this season will be granted the emblem when it's introduced. Competitive vision determines competitive multiplier, which factors into Crucible reward multiplier. The competitive weapon rewards now drops at a percentage chance on wins. Chance increases with your highest seasonal competitive division. 20% chance at copper, 50% chance at ascendant. Gear tier is determined by reward package, or power is capped relative to your current power. Okay, so there's a chance to get the weapon droppings from play. Okay. Cutting Edge. The new loadout restricted playlist that requires a full set of new gear. The new gear bonuses applied to the Crystal reward multiplier. Rotates weekly through different game modes and fighting sizes. Each modal has a curated set of 5 maps for the week. This playlist is locked until Friday of the first week of the season. Okay, so it's a new PvP game mode where you must use all new gear, no old gear. And it has a little icon showing you if it's new seasonal gear or not. Alrighty, we have some ammo changes. The special ammo meter has been re-enabled in Crystal. Oh, thank God, that's so good. With some changes. Filling your meter will notify enemies you've generated an ammo brick. In 3v3 modes, all players will have ammo icons underneath their super icons in the HUD to alert opponents and teammates to who has ammo. Initial special ammo crates now spawn after 30 seconds instead of immediately in all game modes, matching their behavior in trials. You now can retain up to 3 times starting ammo after death. Ammo above that will be lost. So if you have a shotgun, you can hold up to 3 shots when you die, and you will carry them over. If you have any more than 3 shots, you go back down to 3 shots. You will continue to start the games with 1 kills with special ammo, but you'll no longer spawn with fresh ammo every life at the beginning of rounds. Wow. Okay. Okay, so if you die in the round, you keep the ammo. But if the round changes, you don't keep it. Okay, strange. Note, the heavy ammo meter and bonus ammo bricks for 100 plus weapon stat are not enabled in the Crucible. Modifiers. Not swap is a modifier active in all Crucible activities that access via the portal. A new modifier is now visible in orbit in game when you bring up the ghost menu that tells you your quitter status, and while in game, it will tell you what will happen should you leave. Cool. Alrighty, heavy metal. Brig and Drake tanks look sick. Controls new respect player sensitivity when using controller. Secondary weapon target lock time reduced for both Drake tank and Brig. Brig base movement speed has been increased to match the Drake tank. Brig firing animation has been adjusted to better reflect the firing cadence. Timing matches Drake tank. Brig's projectile speed now matches Drake tank. Drake tank destruction garbage, but it's no longer collide with Brig garbage. Yeah. The amount of times I died during that event because the tank would stop me and I was getting shot and I couldn't move it away. Alrighty, raids and dungeons. New raid, the Desert Perpetual, launches Saturday. There's no spoilers. Not even halfway down through the patch notes yet. That's crazy. Thunder Doctrine fixed an issue where alternate characters were unable to be advanced beyond step 2 in the quest. That's finally fixed. Vesper's Host fixed an issue where some players are not able to advance beyond step 6. Fixed an issue where radiation debuff was not clearing and dropping a nuclear core. Warlord's Ruin fixed an issue where on the final stand of the last encounter, players were sometimes not being teleported. That's rough. Spy the Watcher fixed an issue where attrition buff was not being displayed in the intended space below the health bar. Gunner Salvation fixed an issue where the consecrated mind would run away faster than it should when hit by certain weapons and abilities. Legacy content changes. Vanguard. Nightfalls are now on a daily rotation and include all strikes and battlegrounds. Grandmaster Nightfalls have been removed. We have a new version of that. Onslaughts have been removed to the Fighting Ops node in the portal starting in week 2. Crucible. Only 3v3 quickplay and 6v6 quickplay and Rumble and Pro Match are available on the Legacy Crucible screen. Control, Competitive and Trials have all been moved to the portal. Modified playlists has been removed. Lost Sector changes. Each destination with a higher difficulty Lost Sectors has its own daily rotation, with one each day active rather than a single global rotation. Okay. This should help players in specific loot, Lost Sector triumphs and title rewards without having to wait for multiple destination rotations. That's quite nice. So each station will have its own Lost Sector available. That's so much nicer. Because I hate it when it's on the Pale Heart or on Neomuna. And you're like, I don't want to do those ones. Alright, UI and UX updates. General fixes. Fix issue. Sorry, I'm just gonna opening the character menu by clicking the button prompt in the director UI would load a blank character screen. Fix an issue with the loadout screen where master borders and specific cases would not appear quickly after overwriting a loadout. Fixed an issue that made manage invites icon flash without any indication with any actions to perform. Fixed an issue which in the triumph score was not being updated correctly when removing triumphs from the records. Fixed an issue which in the clan screen was not displaying the correct name for the season in progress. Fixed an issue which the radius of the cursor hover over Europa was too wide. Alright, general. New title screen for Edge of Fate, dark wallpaper, don't worry. Director, destinations and map tabs have been merged together under a newly named World tab. Navigation between the current tab destinations using up-down arrows on console and WS buttons on PC. Activity launch screen. Clicking a difficulty no longer closes the legacy difficulty section screen, making input a bit more consistent with other details screens such as weapons and armor inspect. Items. All seasonal, expansion and event icons in the corner of the gear have updated to accommodate new gear tier and new gear iconography. Item hovering menu. Consolidating the display of most perks and modifiers to show a row of icons at the bottom of the screen. Description of non-intrinsic perks and modifiers can still be seen in the more info expanded screen. Move the comparison / more info button hints to be above the standard button. Hints on the screen so they're easier to see. Added a back flavor text to the screen. Cool. Character screen. Added a display that shows your current active armor set bonuses. Updated the character set hovering menu to show incremental bonuses from stats, as well as when stats are granting enhanced benefits. Gear detail screen. Added a help section that describes a variety of gear concepts. This describes concepts that apply broadly to gear as well as specific weapons or armor concepts. Enhanced perk tabs now show a short description of their enhanced benefits. Wow. Collections. Added a featured gear section with both exotic weapons and armor, which shows all exotics that benefit from the new gear bonuses for the current season. Cool, we'll go over that when we get in game. I'll show you guys what that is. HUD. Added an ammo meter display which shows progress was the next special of heavy ammo perk. Enemies display their nameplates if they have a Bane and which Bane is active. Added a display to the right side of the HUD which shows buffs or debuffs from the current activity selection modifiers. Whew, we have so much to go, guys. This is a long set of patch notes. Gameplay and investment. Difficulty changes. Several adjustments have been made game-wide to damage, curves, and power ranges. Difficulty is now more linear. Alright, anything on 100 over, this should feel roughly to equivalent of the even power during the final shape. Even power, this should feel slightly more difficult than the same during the final shape. 40 under is equivalent to Grandmaster difficulty in the final shape. If you're 100 power under, enemies are immune. You won't be able to do any damage. Matchmake activities in the portal have the following values depending on what you choose. Normal is even, Advanced is 10 under, Expert is 20 under, Master is 30 under, Grandmaster is 40 under, and Ultimate difficulty is 50 under. Note, the new difficulty curve affects mages and ultras, that's orange and yellow bar, more than it does regular enemies. With the previous scaling, all enemy types scaled evenly. Now red bars don't increase in health nearly as quickly as elites and bosses as they grow in power. So kill trigger perks will be more useful in high-end content than previously. That's nice, so that means your red bar enemies used to be able to get like all those perks to pop off rather than trying to empty like clip after clip after clip trying to kill them. Difficulty curve and legacy content. Returning content in high difficulty tiers now have fixed difficulty similar to the corresponding portal tiers. These include Nightfall, Legendary Campaign, Exotic Rotated Missions, and various activities at standard through all master. All have been converted to fixed difficulty in a manner matching the corresponding portal tier and inherit the same improvements in difficulty and progression. Some modifiers have been removed from these activities or updated for new game mechanics. Surges are now a bonus on top of the expected baseline player performance. These modifiers no longer rotate. Legacy raid and dungeon content also has been converted to fixed power difficulty level. Normal mode matches previous difficulty setting. Alright, now to the armor system. We're about halfway through now, guys. Stats. Armor stats no longer require round numbers of 10 to improve their effects. Instead, their effect scales with each individual point. Armor stats now provide 2 benefits. One benefit is provided from 1 to 100. The secondary, enhanced benefit is provided in addition from maximum 1 to 100 to the effect, so from 101 to 200 points. Replace the 6 core guardian stats with a new behavior. Mobility is now weapons. 1 to 100 improves weapon reload and handling speeds. Improves damage versus minors and major combatants. Damage is as follows: 0 to 15 for primaries and special, and 10% for heavy. If it's between the ranks of 100 to 200, grants a chance for ammo special breaks produced to contain more ammo than normal. Improves damage versus bosses, boss combatants, and guardians. If you get between 100 and 200, it's either a 0 to 15% buff primary special on bosses and 10% for heavy, or it's up to a 6% damage against players. Alrighty. Resilience is now health. 1 to 100 grants 0 to 70 healing when picking up overpower, and grants up to 10% flinch resistance. 100 to 200, shield starts recharging up to 25% faster and takes up to 50% less time to fully recharge. And if you have it to 200, it's an additional 20 shield capacity versus combatants. That's wild. Recovery is now class. So 1 to 100 improves base cooldown of your class ability, improves the amount of class energy gained from external sources, and any class regeneration speed scales from other sources. 100 to 200 grants a 0 to 40 HP overshield, or a 0 to 10 in PvP, on casting your class ability. Duration is determined by the ability used. That's crazy. Strength is now melee. 1 to 100 improves the base cooldown of your melee ability, improves the amount of melee energy gained from external sources. 100 to 200 is a 0 to 30% increase in melee ability damage. This includes powered and unpowered and glaive melees. Ooh, it's going to be you titans, man. If you get 200 strength, you're doing up to 30% more damage with a 1-2 shotgun. Chef's kiss, boys, chef's kiss. Discipline is now grenade. 1 to 100 improves the base cooldown of a grenade, and then also improves the amount of grenade energy gained from external sources. So it's like using your class ability gives you more weapon kills, like gives you more like the grenade perk on your gun now. It's too early for me. But if you get a kill, the weapon increases grenade energy, throwing grenade, yeah, crazy. 100 to 200 gives you a 0 to 65% increase in grenade ability damage. So if you're running 200 discipline, you'll get a 65% increase to grenade ability damage. Which, if you're rocking Starfire Protocol and 2 fusions, you're going to be doing so much grenade damage. Or a Verity's Brow build, where you already have the damage scaler there, plus an extra 65% as well. Intellect is now super, 1 to 100. Improve the super energy gained from damaging targets. It does not change the base cooldown of your time of your super now. I actually like that, because that means you're not going to see, like, most of its hunters with their ice or the G1, they're just not going to get it as quick unless they're getting kills. Improves the amount of super energy gained from external sources, and any super generation speed scales from other sources. And if you have 100 to 200 intellect, it's a 0 to 45% increase in super ability damage. Effects for your current stat investment, including your equipped abilities cooldown, are displayed in each stat hovering menu. Note, for full ability stats that affect cooldowns, 70 should roughly be equivalent to that ability's previous stat scaling being at 100, and 30 be roughly equivalent to 0. So if your stats are 30 and below, you might as well not have any stat points in there. It will be a 0. So if you've got like an 18 and 18, you have no mobility, you have no strength, you're going to take ages to get anything back, which is most of my builds. Deprecated stats. Stats which have no equivalent effect in each fate had their effect applied to all guardians based on a specific value. For all guardians, effects previously granted. For all guardians, the effects previously granted by 100 resilience are applied by default. For all Guardians, effects previously granted by 60 recovery are applied by default. For Titans and Warlocks, the effects previously granted by 30 mobility are now applied by default, and for Hunters it's 40 mobility are applied by default. Alrighty, updated stat mods. Now provide the new Armor 3.0 stats. All stat mods have the same mod energy costs. Mods that provide plus 10 stats cost 3, and mods that provide plus 5 cost 1. So instead of having like recovery costing 4 and discipline costing 3, they all just cost 3 now, which is fantastic. So many times I was picking a recovery mod, but then it would cost 4, so I'd have to really select which other mods are there. Now they all just cost 3. Fantastic. Armor 2.0 conversion, including existing rolls of exotic armor. Armor will be updated to align with the above changes. Stats will be converted 1-to-1 in the new system. Rolls may appear different at glance, but the stats as the order are displayed has changed. Artifice mod slots, exotic artifice upgrades, and Armor 2.0 masterworks will remain unchanged for all Armor 2.0, with the exception of the exotic class items. A piece of armor that provides 28 mobility will now instead provide 28 plus 1 weapon stat. Masterworked Armor 2.0 class items with Strength Artifice mod insert will now provide a total of plus 2 health, plus 5 melee, plus 2 grenade, plus 2 super, plus 2 class, and plus 2 weapons. Okay. Alright. It just means that Artifice gear, and then you put a plus 10 on it. So it's slightly better. The plus 3's just gone to melee, it looks like. Okay. I don't know why it's gone to melee for, but sure. Just having 2 when you fully masterwork it and you put your Artifice slot on, giving you a plus 3. Instead of having plus 3 whatever you want, it's gone plus 3 to melee only. New armor set bonuses added in the Armor 3.0 system, which is used for all new armor sets added at the Edge of Fate and beyond. Armor will provide up to 2 set bonus perks, provided for equipping 2 and 4 pieces of armor from the same set. All Armor 3.0 will drop with full mod energy. Masterworking now provides plus 1 to your 3 lowest stats on the armor per level, and up to a maximum of 5. Wow, so if you have tier 1, it's only plus 1, but if you have tier 5, you get a plus 5 to every stat. Okay. So, I mean, in all fairness though, if you're only rocking 25 on each stat, there must be 0 anyway, so it's not really going to make a difference. This is instead of the plus 2. Armor will now roll with 3 stats: primary stat, secondary stat, and tertiary stat. A randomly selected armor archetype determines the primary and secondary stat of the armor. A piece of armor's total stats are determined by its gear tier, and that was set out a while back, and I think most of our gear will be tier 2, tier and high tier 3, tier 4 gear, and beyond is all better than what we've got. Exotic armor stat updates. Exotic armor haven't updated to use the Armor 3.0 system. Exotic armor pieces are not tiered, but instead they will roll stats as if they were tier 2 with 58 to 63. Total stats of 73 to 78 when masterwork. Fixed collections roll for each exotic armor piece to be assigned based on their playstyle as an emergency option for players that don't have a roll on hand. These rolls will have 52 total stats before masterworking. Note, we updated exotic armor so that it could benefit from the changes made with Armor 3.0 to masterworking and how stats rolled. So you still get plus 5 in each stat piece, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like you will. It's 15, yeah. No, doesn't make sense then. Okay, we'll have to have a look. We'll pull one out and have a look. We plan to add a system that better fits the role of exotic armor plays in your build at a later date that allows it to access the benefits of higher tier armor. To support Guardians that need to rearrange their stats based on the above changes, a one-time exotic armor focus will be available during the Year of Prophecy. So I'll show you how it works in the reset video as well. All accounts that have full tower access, i.e. completed the new light on at least one character prior to release of Edge of Fate, are eligible. 20 exotic positions orders can be claimed from Ada per account. Each exotic position can be exchanged for 1 exotic with Ada. Available options include all non-exotic class items from before Edge of Fate's release that you have acquired. Each armor piece will focus on armor archetype of your choice. Exotic class items have been updated to use the Armor 3.0 system. Unlike the above updates, this includes all copies, including those already in your inventory or vault. The archetype of systems, the class items are determined by the left column perk, the tertiary stats, the right column perk. These items will no longer have access to the exotic artifice upgrade and will lose any existing artifice mod slot. So you lose the artifice mod slot, but you're going to have an extra, I think you're going to have an extra like 30 stat points in a class item anyway. So instead of having 3, you're going to get 30. So if if that's good or bad to you, it's entirely up to you, but I honestly think it's a fantastic change. The ammo system changes. Ammo is now earned deterministically in game. Why? By filling a meter, with progression gained from kills and assists. The amount of ammo granted by bricks in PvE has been modified correspondingly. The inventory stat has been depreciated for weapons and replaced with the ammo generation stat, which improves how many points kills and assists contribute towards the ammo meters. Inventory for the most weapon types has been fixed or greatly reduced on its variability based on rate of fire and magazine. We'll now have several new rubric sets of mods that allow you to modify the ammo meter. Ammo finders now improve contributions to the corresponding meter and can stack, and special ammo finders are enabled in Crucible. Oh, special ammo finder mods are available in Crucible. Reserve mods on chest armor have been depreciated and replaced with ammo generation mods, which improve the ammo generation of stat of weapons matching their damage type and can stack. Scavenger mods will continue to work as before and will be disabled in Crucible and cannot stack. Scout and mods have been depreciated. New activity modifiers have been created which can cause increase or decrease in ammo meter contributions. The system provides us with a significant number of new tuning levers for balance. We look forward to gathering your feedback and further improving the system after launch. Due to banking limitations, swords do not currently have an ammo generation stat and will deal the same amount of progress this. This progress can still be scaled by ammo finders through ammo generation specific weapons, and armor mods will have no effect. Okay. Alrighty. Melee damage scaling update. Systematic updates. All melee damage increasing build all melee damage increasing build crafting items have been converted to use additive damage stacking. Every item that has been changed as part of this has been listed below. I think Astaros did a video on how this is going to work going forward. It was a very good video. If you checked it out, I'll have a link to it down below so you guys check it out. There is a single exception to this. Melee stat increases the damage of melee abilities from 100 to 200, stacking multiplicatively with additive damage buffs. That's a lot of words. Melee damage increases no longer scale on scorch and ignition damage caused by melee attacks. Jeez. So consecration is going to get it's taking nerf there. That's the biggest one. No one else really had this going for them apart from Kazasin Armlet. So yeah. Alright, glaives. Glaive melee is now considered to be a type of unpowered melee ability. They now receive the melee damage increases at full effect in all cases where an unpowered melee ability would, including damage increases on Synthetips, Knockout, Offensive Bulwark, Combination of Low, Spark of Feedback, Winkle Crest, Pen of War, and Stylish Executioner. Glaive melee now triggers all effects that are triggered by any melee ability. They will no longer benefit from some weapon damage bonuses such as Radiant. Effects that modify behavior of basic melee attacks such as Titan Aspect Knockout, changing the damage type of basic melee attacks from kinetic to arc, will not affect the behavior of glaive melees. Glaive melee damage in PvE is adjusted to compensate for the increased access to melee damage increase effects. Glaive melee damage against minors reduced by 40, champions has been reduced by 28.5, and against bosses have been reduced by 50. Alrighty, now to the abilities tuning. Titan, Roaring Flames. Maximum PvE melee damage bonus has been increased from 73 to 200%. As a note, Roaring Flames increases solar ability damage and glaive melee is always kinetic. Opted to follow the rules as written for this one for now, so Roaring Flames does not scale glaive melee damage. Melee damage bonus against is no longer decreased when using Peregrine Greaves, Wimgod Crest, Once Punch, or Synthetips. I don't know if that's good or not. Someone tell me. I don't know if that's good or not. Knockout. PvE uncharged melee damage bonus increased from 100 to 160. PvE charge melee bonus increased from 50 to 160. Increased melee damage now works with glaive melee at full effect. Offensive Bulwark. PvE melee damage bonus increased from 100 to 160. Increased melee damage now works with glaive melee at full effect. Melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when used with Syntheseps. Okay, nice. Banner of War. Melee damage bonus for users and allies increased from 40 to 100%. Melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when using Wormgold Crest, Syntheseps, or Glaive melees. The damage bonus provided to Blade Fury's melee attacks is unchanged. Hunter. Stylish Executioner. PvE melee damage bonus increased from 200 to 300%. Now works with glaives. Now works with every melee ability if the ability makes contact while you are leaving invisibility. In other words, projectile melees like Threaded Spike will benefit from the damage increase if you use it at point blank. Faceted Courage. PvE melee damage bonus increased from 10 to 50%. Spark of Feedback. PvE melee damage bonus increased from 75 to 100%. Now works with glaives. PvE melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when using Syntheseps, Liar's Handshake, Knockout, Wormgold Crest, One-Two Punch, or Winter's Guile. Guess that's for your class item. Combination Blow. Maximum PvE damage bonus increased from 309 to 400%. Increased melee damage now works with glaive. Now works with Ascension and PvE at full effect. Now works with grapple melee at full effect. Alright, armor changes. Oh, damn. Now I got my cup of tea here. Hunter Exotic. Arthur's Embrace. PvE weighted thrown up. Damage bonus increased from 200 to 300%. Liar's Handshake and Spirit of Liar. Arc melee damage increased from 200 to 400% in PvE. Ophidius Spade. Maximum PvE thrown up damage bonus increased from 100 to 200%. Triton Vice. PvE glaive melee damage and bonus increased from 100 to 200%. Titan Exotic. Hard Up Immersed Light. Maximum PvE melee damage bonus increased from 20 to 50%. Now increases the power damage of unpowered glaive melees. Peregrine Graves. Shoulder chargeability and pick damage bonus against non-combatant, non-champion, non-tormentor, and non-boss targets increased from 363 to 400%. Syntheseps and Spirit of the Syntheseps melee damage bonus is unchanged. Melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when used with combination blow, Stylish Executioner, and glaive melee. Damage bonus is still decreased against players when using Lightning Surge. Okay. Wishful Ignorance, Titan Exotic. Maximum PvE Frenzy Blade melee damage increased from 100 to 200%. Maximum PvE Flesh Shed Storm melee damage increased from 50 to 200%. Titan Exotic Wormgold Crest. Maximum PvE damage bonus increased from 275 to 400%. Melee damage is no longer decreased when using Withdrawing Flames or glaive melee. Warlock Exotic Winter's Guile. Maximum PvE melee damage bonus increased from 275 to 400%. Alrighty. Weapons. Close to melee. PvE glaive melee damage bonus increased from 330 to 60. One-Two Punch. Melee damage bonus increased from 100 to 150%. Now works with all melee abilities. Melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when used with Liar's Handshake. Increase the time the pixel to 3 seconds. That's funny. Bastion. Saint's Fist PvE melee damage bonus increased from 100 to 300%. Now works with all melee abilities. Increase the time the perk's active to 3 seconds. Monte Carlo. Careless melee no longer deals reduced damage to bosses, mini-bosses, and champions. Winterbite is now able to receive the melee damage bonus from a variety of sources. Reduced enhanced melee damage with ammo to plus 20% versus bosses and down from 50%. Alrighty, Armor. Legendary Armor. Remove the seasonal armor perks released as part of the Witch Queen and Nightfall seasonal content, as well as the intrinsic perks on episodic armor. These perks provide no benefit, as related currencies, vendors, and perks they're tied to are no longer available. So if you have like increased drops in, say, echoes, those don't work anymore because echoes isn't there anymore, so just remove them all. Alrighty, exotic armor. The following exotic armors that grant ability energy or scale ability energy to recharge generates are now scaled by respective character stats. the Stag, Speedloader, Crest of Alpha Luby, Radiant Dust Machines, Mask of Acros, Frosties, Heart of Immortality and Spirit, Hellfire Heart, Controversy Holds, I Have Another World, Crown of Tempest, Resurrect Sin, Sun Braces, Graviton Forpit, Kelvin Tan, Vesper's Radius, Prometheus Spurs, Mask of Filthy, Kisfree Sting, Omni Oculus, Point Contact, Cannon Brace, Lucky Raspberry, Young Alchemist Ryan, Ursa Furiosa, Starfire Protocol, also Spirit, Osmancy Gloves, Spirit of Honesty, and Ashen Wake. Wow. So they all have their ability stats scaled. I have Another World's not on there. I'm surprised. Just keep an eye out for that one. Hunter Exotics. All these changes are in addition to the melee damage changes outlined above. Well, Speedloader Slacks adjusted the tight fit perk. Dodging reloads all weapons and grants increased handling and reload speed for you and nearby allies. While this buff is active, additional dodges increase the strength of the buff and refresh the timer. Dealing sustained damage will grant chunks of class ability energy. Okay. Dragon Shadow. Weapons now passively are more stable and ready quicker. Activating Wraithmail Metal increases passive stability and handling. Reloads equipped weapon, grants increased move speed, sprint, slide, ADS and strike speed are all improved. Increased class ability stat. Alright, Mask of Bacchus. Drops surge damage bonuses. Light Shift now grants 10% damage with stasis arc weapons and Lord of Wolves. Lord of Wolves. Kills while Light Shift is active grant a portion of class energy. Light Shift now stacks times 3. Now also legal on arc subclasses and arc supers. Cool. Capri Sting. Drop the True Sight and Smoke Punch perks, added new perk. Killing weakened targets creates a burst of weakening smoke and returns smoke bomb energy. Okay, this has been changed up. Blight Ranger. Fixed an issue where cancellation damage was not constantly scaling based on Voltic Mirror progress. Adjusted Voltic Mirror meter behavior now takes 25% less reflections to reach maximum, heals more evenly, and blocked melee attacks count as a reflection. Maximum cancellation damage increased by 50%. This is in addition to the fix above. Minimum cancellation damage increased by 150%. Now always applies blind before dealing damage. Updated visuals and audio timing of the blinding shockwave better to reflect this impact. Okay, Oathkeepers. Increased top end damage bonus from 200 from 150. Bent the curve in the damage bonus to give more total damage bonus earlier in the overdraw. Alrighty, Titan exotic changes. In addition to the melee damage changes outlined above, Phoenix Cradle added new perks. Dealing sustained solar weapon damage in a sunspot extends its duration. Providing solar buffs to allies has the chance to create a sunspot at your feet. Updated visual effects on sunspots while the user has Phoenix Cradle to look more clearly supportive to allies. Crest of Alpha Lupi. Sustained damage behind a barricade now triggers another smaller healing pulse. Added a new perk, Healing Your Allies, grants barricade energy. 44 standard sides. Sprinting with Juggernaut active periodically grants you stacks of static charge. Sprinting while amplified creates an area behind you that grants allies a speed booster. That's pretty cool. Path of Burning Steps. Increase solar weapon damage and solar ignition damage based on the number of stacks of roaring flames you have. Reduce the time you are suspended, slowed, and frozen. Abeyant Leap. Increase the suspend duration when applied by enhanced Dragon Lashes. Acting War Rig. Kills with auto rifles or machine guns increase their stability, ammo generation, and damage. Stacks times 10. Higher stacks bleed off more quickly. Warlock exotic changes. In addition to melee damage changes outlined above, Starfire Protocol now activates on radiant damage. Increase the on damage gain from 5% to 5% from 2.5. Reduces the on kill gain to 15% from 20. Wings of Sacred Dawn. Combatants are less accurate towards you while this perk is active, similar to Manticore. Solar weapon final blows now grant restoration and reload your stowed weapons. Sanguine Alchemy. Switching to the exotic now applies a 10-second cooldown before its perk can be activated. We are eyeing if in a future release for a more holistic solve on curbing mid and counter swapping behavior when it comes to this. When this comes, this will be ripped. To be honest though, if you're about to start Final Stand, right, you dropped your well, switch before Final Stand happens, boom, and you get your Final Stand and the well's still there. Like this, 10 seconds is a long time, but you get a rift halfway through and you just drop it. Filters out. Added powered melee damage weakens targets. This is 15% weaken. Powered melee defeats still create a 30% weakening burst. Okay, so just say you are using Prismatic, you throw your needle out and weaken some 15%. That's not bad. You get 3 of those as well. Promethean Spurs. Rework the perk Embers of Light. While a solar super is equipped, weapon defeats grant class ability energy. Weapon defeats in a rift grant different solar verb depending on the rift. While in a healing rift, weapon defeats create a pulse that grants radiant to your nearby allies. While empowering defeats instead grant cure to your nearby allies. Okay. Boots of the Assembler. Noble Seekers behavior improvements. Noble Seekers no longer spawn in waves, instead spawn at a constant rate based on fire team size. The average number of Noble Seekers produced per 8 seconds is unchanged. Will produce 1 per ally in that time period. Noble Seeker tracking range changed from 20 to 40 meters based on the timer alive 40 meters away. Noble Seekers will prioritize allies who have not been healed in the last 8 seconds than allies who are closer. Noble Seekers can now target allies standing in a rift producing them. Noble Seekers will not target an ally more than once every 4 seconds. Noble Seekers will not detonate when passing near an ally they are not targeting. They will still detonate if they make direct impact with an ally they are not targeting. No longer grants extended rift duration on Noble Seekers impact with allies. Instead grants class ability energy on Noble Seeker impact with allies. Scales based on fire team size. Geomag Stabilizers got a bit of a nerf. Reduce super energy granted by Ionic Traces from 4% down from 7%. Return sprinting off top of bolt charge. Sprinting to top of bolt charge now activates at 5 stacks down from 6. Sprinting continuously for 1 second will start granting bolt charge down from 2 seconds. Grants a stack every 0.33 seconds of further sprinting down from 1 point every 5. Alright, exotic class item changes. Spirit of Alpha added a new perk, healing allies grants class ability energy. Spirit of Starfire inherits the changes from the base exotic. Spirit of the Dragon updated perk based on the above changes. Weapons ready quicker and are more stable. Using your class ability temporary increases this benefit and reloads your equipped weapons from reserves. Masterworking only for new armor. Masterwork levels reduced from 10 to 5. Masterwork levels reduced. Okay. Only for armor. Masterworking now increases stats, not armor mod slots. All armor mods are available without masterworking. Infusion cost of new armor changes based on the tier. Yes, there's a whole. So the higher the tier, the more it costs to infuse it. So really, you want to be keeping a tier 1 set of gear so your level gets higher, and keeping tier 3 on you. And then when you start getting into the tier 3, tier 4s, and getting more armor, more materials, you can start upgrading that gear. Alright, armor mods reduce the benefit granted by the font mods from 30, 50, 60 to 20, 40, 50. Yeah, covered that last time. Reduce the healing granted by clicking all power with the recuperation armor mod from 70 to 15. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, the amount of times I'll be running through, get a shot by no and just have orbs I can run through it as well. Added new leg armor mod, enhanced athletics, which increases your base movement speed and jump height. Gives you plus 30, 50, 60 based on how many you equip. The armor ghost mod that no longer matches the stat armor have been deprecated in favor of reduced stat mods. So if like a mobility ghost mod, there'll be the other version now. Alright, weapons. System changes. New weapons Edge of Fate have a new cosmetic mod socket called Combat for them. For pairs who have termed Sweaty Confetti, it can be applied to this weapon. So it's tier 5 weapons that have this, and not consumed for weapons. Weapons before the Edge of Fate can still apply the consumable version of Sweaty Confetti in the weapon mod socket. So if you want to use that as a weapon mod, you can. Staggered reload. Machine guns now have a staged reload. This places checkpoints in the reload animation where players cancel reload animation. It starts again and will resume later. So if you lift up the thing, put the bullets in, and you have a down because you sprint, it starts from the slamming down again. So you don't have to do half the animation every time. Weapons that contained fragile weapon mods from episode Heresy will have these mods removed as they expired. Players can apply the normal mods. Updated weapon crafting progress and trials, so losses that contribute. Updated weapon crafting progress and trials, so losses contribute the same amount as wins. Deep Slate drop rates are improved in the Days of Eternity upon retirement of the guaranteed weekly Deep Slate reward from the Legion versions of the activity. Updated Pale Heart, so after resetting the Ghost Vendor, the drop rates of Deep Slate Pale Heart weapons is increased. The impact stat is now considered an expert stat and only shows upon inspecting the weapons. Alrighty, weapon archetypes, waveframe weapons. Fix an issue where the waveframe damage would make target immune to similar archetype waveframe damage from other players for a short time. The aerial denial grenade launchers, the visual lingering pulls will now scale appropriately when perks such as Reverberation Danger Zone are active. Glaives reduce projectile tracking behavior at close range. That makes it more accurate. Shotgun's heavy burst corrected an issue where they were not receiving the intended damage buff from earlier patch. Heavy burst shotguns. Most rocket launchers now get 2 shots per ammo crate in Crucible. The truth. Honestly, the truth was such a menace. It's the only one you could really use. But most rocket launchers get it now. I'm still going to use the truth. It's easy. Then you have Fuserizer. Corrected issue where some burst only Fuserizers were not getting the right amount of ammo from heavy ammo crates in Crucible. Yeah, some of them were getting like 6 shots. It was wild. Weapon tearing. New weapons will drop with gear tearing. Alright, tier 1. If you've seen this all before, these are all, you've seen how they work. But they do get a damage bonus. So a tier 1 weapon gets 2% bonus, tier 2 4, tier 3 6, tier 4 8, up to 10%. Exotics. There's some exotic changes here. 2-tail fox. Corrected issue where it was not receiving 2 bursts per ammo crate and Crucible. Yeah, that was. Cry of 1 updated the hipfire reticle to better show spread state. But Vigilance Wing now gets its bonus when running solo and PvE. Hierarchy. All these changes were done last week. The hierarchy needs changes. These have all been covered. It's not going to go over them again. It's going to be long. Yeah, we've gone through all the exotic changes. Alright, here we go. Perks. Alright, reconstruction. Increase the amount of ammo transferred per activation from 10 to 25%. Paraclaws Fitting added visibility timer to the buff. Connection was decreased. Shots activated on certain weapon types. High impact autos, so the 360s, are 9 hits down from 12. Aggressive and high impact scout rifles are 5 hits down from 6. Hand cannon supplements have received specific tuning. Aggressive hand cannon is 4 hits down from 6. Adaptive is 5 from 6, and precision hand cannon still requires 6. 1-2 punch now works with all melee abilities and requires 1.22 seconds to activate instead of 3. Attrition orbs increase perk progress across the board by 20%. Reduce perk progress by 80% with an aerial denial grenade launcher. Oh, these have all been covered too. I'm not going to cover anything we've covered before. Here's the bug fixes. Yeah. Fix an issue with switching grenades on prismatic while active alive can make some armor and weapon picks fail to grant grenade energy until you die, fast travel, or return to orbit, so they fix that. We've gone through the prismatic changes already with the fragment changes, the artifact changes. Alright. Here we go. All classes general. Increase damage versus bosses, mini bosses, and champions by 15% to the following grenades: Arc, Flux, Arc Bolt, Flashbang, and Storm. 10% damage buff. Void, Axie Bolt, Suppressor, Solar, Firebolt, and Tripwire. You're never going to use any of those two. Genetic, the Rock, Forerunner has had a 15% damage buff. Prismatic, Faceted Courage. Fixed issue with Faceted Courage would stack with Will of Radiance. Devour has been reduced by the amount of heal from 200 to 140. These have all been covered as well. Power and Aggression, we've covered that last patch notes as well. Bounty Pursuits, fixed all that too. Zer's stuff's always been covered as well. We've already covered the Zer one. And that is it. Oh, that is it for these patch notes, guys. That is a long patch notes. If you stuck with me to the end, I appreciate it. But we've covered most of this already before. But if you do have any questions, queries, or concerns, or you're just unsure, let me know in the comments below. I'll be answering questions as fast as I can for you guys. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the Edge of Fate, and I hope to see you guys in the live stream. But until next time, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being here. You guys are fantastic. And as always, stay safe, take care, and bye for now.